Are you tired of spinning your wheels and posting the final product online or final videos online and finding that you're not getting any traction from that? But what if I told you that there's one thing that you could do in your business right now that could potentially change the trajectory of your business just by doing this one thing? And that one thing is start filming yourself in your small business. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 4 things. 1, it builds trust and credibility. Number 2, it's going to be your selling point 24 hours a day, 7 days a week when you're actually sleeping. Number 3, it's going to attract and educate your ideal client because now they're going to see you actually explaining what it is that you do on video where they don't even have to ask the question because you're already answering that question that they probably have inside their head. And number 4, it's going to document the growth, and that is literally bulletproofing your business or your credibility because now they can actually just scroll back in the past 6 months from this date or 6 months before the date that they actually found you and say, man, this person's been doing this for a while. I'm still scrolling. They must know what they're doing. So in this video, we're going to be going through those 4 things. I want you guys to sit back and just let me explain to you why it is so important for you to start filming yourself inside your small business to change the trajectory of your small business. So in this video, I'm going to actually be using my phone. I have some notes in here. I want to make sure that I'm staying on point here because this is really important. It's extremely frustrating to be posting and not really getting the traction that you need when overall what the people actually want or your customers, your ideal customer actually want is just to make sure that they're choosing the right person for the job. And what better way to do that is by just showing them. So we're going to start with point number 1 and how filming yourself in your small business, actually doing the thing that you do is going to build trust and credibility. Now, I want you to really think about this. If you were in the market of buying something, buying a new refrigerator, you're probably going to go on YouTube. You're going to search for all the reviews on that particular refrigerator. You're going to check out all the specs. You're going to go into a deep dive and trying to figure out, okay, hey, is this refrigerator for me? But what better way to do it if you head on to a YouTube channel, let's just say that, and you find a person who only reviews refrigerators. Clearly, if they're only reviewing refrigerators, they know what they're looking for. And if they have like an overall point system or score system, whatever the case may be, but you can actually see them actually opening the doors, opening the drawers, you will feel a little bit more confident rather than you landing on a channel or landing on an account for somebody who a landscaper and now all of a sudden has a video about reviewing refrigerators. You're gonna be like, I get it. You probably know what you're looking for in a refrigerator, but I don't think this person is for me. But if you see somebody day in and day out and you're on their account and they're scrolling and there's every refrigerator that you could possibly imagine known to man, and they're actually have their hands on it, they're entering the fridge, they're looking through the fridge, they're testing different things as far as like how it defrost or what are the frost factors, so different things as far as refrigerators. Once you feel a little bit more confident to know like, hey, this is the review that I want to watch. Now it's the same thing in your small business. Now everybody who is looking for your small business, they may be at a different point to when they're looking for someone to do a certain job. But let's say you're a plumber and you're constantly showing the process to where you are like, unclogging things, you're replacing toilets, you're soldering different pipes together because there was a pipe that burst, or you're digging through a foundation because you have to, run a new water line in. All these different things that you're showing behind the scenes of you actually doing it or you and your team actually doing it, rather than just showing like the before and after, like saying, hey, this was broken, this is how it looks now. But you're actually showing you guys actually digging in, you showing how you are mending the pipe, how you're replacing the pipe. If there was a tree that had to cut down, the tree company that you called in to remove the roots from, all these different things. Like, don't you feel that somebody would feel a little bit more confident of knowing that if I could scroll backwards and constantly go through and start seeing, okay, this person has been doing this for a while, they must know what they're talking about. Wouldn't you be more inclined to make sure that you save that account or search a little bit deeper into their bio to see if you could actually find a website to start looking at reviews, or just find a phone number to contact them because they have the proof online. The proof is there. They've been filming themselves or filming their company behind the scenes for so long. Also, the one thing that it does is builds the trust, because at this point you can actually sit back and see how they interact with another individual or a another client because they have the videos to prove it. And the one thing that I love about this is not only just interacting with one certain client, it's interacting with all types of clients. You may see how they interact with women, how they interact with men, people of different ethnicities, people with kids versus people with not kids. Like if you're a photographer and you're posting behind the scenes of like a family shoot, how does this person interact with a 2-year-old who's not listening? Different things that you can actually sit back and don't feel obligated to say, I want to call them, but I'm not too sure how they're going to treat my kids. You can actually sit back and just watch that because the proof is in the pudding. They posted it. The proof is out there. You can see how they interact in real time. And after a while, if you watch a certain amount of videos, you can see how that person really is. They can't hide it every single video. I mean, that'd be a lot of work to hide it. And if they're hiding it that well, man, I don't know, man. Maybe when you show up with them, they're actually going to be the same. But really, if you look at it, if you start sitting with a person for a long period of time, like watching the different videos and how they interact with clients, then you start realizing like, okay, I could see how this person is. I like their personality. I like the way how they're going about their day, or they're going about how they approach a session, or they approach a job when it comes to plumbing or whatever the case may be. So that's one way you could definitely have it to where it's going to build that trust and also that credibility, because not only the people that you see them interacting with, those are people who already vetted them and now they're working with them. And that's kind of like the social proof that you'll need as well. Like, let's say, well, all right, I understand this person is in business, but have anybody else used them? Are these reviews like all fake? Let me see if there's any videos out there that I could actually see them in motion talking with an actual paid client. That is the credibility that you need right there, that I believe that really solidifies the fact of like why it's important if you're in a small business to start filming the things that you do. Now, also, I know right now you're probably thinking like, what if my business is not client facing this way? But it is a business because you're still attracting clients and you're still doing work. So show the work on the back end. Like say for instance, if you're completely remote, let's say if you're an editor, it would be great to show all the edits that you have, like, you know, on your website or whatever the case may be. But what about the behind the scenes as far as you ingesting footage or you actually manipulating a timeline so they can see from your company's perspective how you guys approach editing a certain video? You're not client facing. You don't see the clients inside your face. You're talking with them. But what about the conversation that you may have on the phone with the client when you're delivering a video or there is a revision that needs to be done? How do you react to them when they say, hey, I don't like this or I don't like that? Customers want to see, okay, if I have that same question, how is that person going to talk to me? So different things like that is what you can consider to why it's important to film yourself in your small business today and how it could potentially, you know, change the trajectory of your business, you know, starting tomorrow. Number 2 is where your content becomes like your marketing 24/7, you know, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And this is so true. For instance, for us, this is on YouTube. It's living on YouTube. It's going to live on Audible podcasts as well. But if you're cutting up this right now, this video right now, and it's living on social, the easiest way nowadays for people to realize who you are is to really just check your back catalog. Like if you just popped up overnight and now you're selling something, it's going to be pretty hard because you do have to build up that trust. But you still have to remember, even if you post a video and that video is living online and it's showing you behind the scenes, it's showing me at my computer as I'm setting up a stream for a client, or if I'm working on a video for a client, or if we're ingesting video podcasts and all the footage that comes in and how we're manipulating the files and manipulating the camera angles, you know, that lives 24/7, you know, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, clients, they're all at different stages. Like, you know, we're small business owners. There are many of times where we're up to 2, 3 in the morning because we're trying to figure out, I need to get to this level. I need to search somebody who's at this level right now or surpass this level. I need to figure out what they did to make sure to make this work. So a client may come to you at the same time. It could be someone that's sitting up right now at 2 o'clock in the morning if they needed an editor and they're searching online for editors and may only be seeing just the final product, but they don't know what it is like to work with this individual or company. They have no idea. Or they may meet you at a place where their toilet just exploded in the middle of the night and they're calling an emergency number whatever, but then they're searching online. They may be on TikTok, they may be on Instagram, and they just search and try to see, okay, I need somebody credible because I don't want to waste my time with somebody coming out right now and they're not the right person for the job. So if that video is out there, literally that video is living out there. It's when you're sleeping, when your business is closed, when 8 o'clock comes around or 9 o'clock comes around and your business is open, that phone call that's coming in is coming from that video because you've been marketing without marketing because it's been living online. That's something really to consider, and you have to really just kind of like focusing on the power of that. It's that, you know, what are you doing right now that you're going to be doing anyway, but how can that actually just kind of just multiply your time? Because again, you know, we all know like time is like something that's not, you know, infinite. It's really not. You don't have infinity of time. You don't have that. So what can you do right now to like just again multiply your time without you actually multiplying your time? And if you're behind the scenes, if you're in the field right now, if you're meeting with somebody, just set your phone up, record the conversation, record the interaction, record that handshake, record, you know, you editing that 10-minute video, just record it, because again, that is what you can use later on just to showcase the things that you're doing so people can know exactly what you do later on when you need to market yourself and they already have the video out there to actually find you. They could totally find you. So again, filming yourself, if you're a small business owner, it's going to just increase your marketing online because it lives online, and that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you're not doing anything, that content that you have from you behind the scenes of your business is actually selling for you. You don't even have to do anything. It's just selling there for you. Number 3 is what I want to come to, is that it educates and attracts the ideal client. And I've been finding this definitely has been happening in my business. And this comes from like the video podcasting space. And I'm noticing more and more clients that they're approaching me, and this is from all different businesses. I'm not just talking about these are photographers or videographers or people in the government space or whatever the case may be. I mean, there's people from everywhere trying to figure out like, hey, how can I make more of an impact online with, you know, doing things that are worth my time and that can actually multiply my time. And like a video podcast is one of them. I'm pretty sure you guys heard of that, and I'll be dropping another video on that pretty soon. But one thing is educating. So if you right now, I'm educating you on the importance of filming yourself online to post online, you behind your business, because it's educating that potential client. So say for instance, let's use the plumber example one more time. If you're out there and you're repairing something and you have that video of you repairing it, you're actually giving the reasons why this thing may happen, ways you could prevent this from happening, or if it happens to you, preventative ways that you could take, or mitigating ways that you could take right now to make sure that that doesn't cause any more damage inside your house. And what the first thing you should ask the plumber when you get them on the line, as far as how can they fix that, or, you know, 3 things that you can ask a plumber right now to know if they know how to diagnose and properly fix the issue that you're having right now. There's so many things that you have insight on because you're in the weeds. I've heard this so many times of like, as far as like somebody asked me a certain type of camera to use or a certain type of microphone to use, and I could rattle it off the top of my head because I'm in that field. I'm constantly in the trenches. I know what new microphones are out there. I know what best microphone is out there. So it may be second nature to me, but to someone, it's a completely foreign language. It's like kind of like you're speaking Spanish and we're in the middle of like Sylvania or something like that. So, you know, you have to really consider like a lot of things that you may take for granted, or the information that you're ingesting because you're becoming better. It's foreign information to someone else, but it's valuable information to somebody else. So again, I would highly stress that it's the clients that are attracted to you and coming to you. They're coming to you because they already know that you have the answer to what they're looking for, because somewhere in one of the videos that you've made, you've answered that question. A lot of times people may overlook the things that they know and just assume that everybody knows this. I'm guilty of that as well. I'm so guilty of that. I'm so guilty of saying, oh my God, everybody knows that you're, you know, supposed to look at the camera when you're filming on the phone. Everybody knows that. When you see videos and people are looking directly at the screen on the video and they're not even making eye contact with their potential client on the other line or on the other side of the social media post, just consider the things that you may take for granted, that you may say every single day when people call you day in and day out. Make videos about that. You know, if you're repairing something that you find yourself constantly repairing, I'm using my plumber example again. If you're constantly unstopping drains with your snake, give points to where homeowners homeowners may know, okay, this is the easiest way for you to avoid clogged drains during the holidays, and just give them 3 points, 3 things that you always check when you go out there. It's not going to put yourself out of business. It's just going to put your name in the memory of a lot of homeowners, because again, that's somebody that they could trust. Remember, we've already talked about is building credibility and trust. You're already marketing to them because constantly your videos are out there and you're always giving game to them as far as like the things that they can avoid or mitigate damages. And now, number 3, you're educating them. You're educating your potential clients. So by the time they reach you, they'll be like, hey, Jason, I already know you, bro. You've been helping me out for a while, man. I can't wait to, have you over my house to repair my toilet. I know that sounds kind of weird, but yet again, that's ultimately what you're doing. So just consider that when you are making videos or you are recording yourself behind the scenes in your small business, because that's just one of the things that you're doing. You're building that trust, you're building that marketing, and you're also building the fact that they can now just know that you're educating them and what you're telling them, it's good information, just in the event that they don't even use you. Maybe you're just not in the area, but they could come to you because they trust you, because you are the one that's filming yourself and you're not just showing the final product. Number 4, it is documentation. And what I mean by documentation, I know so many times you hear this, document the journey. Make sure you document the journey. And yes, I understand you want to document the journey, but in this case here, you're documenting the journey because you're making your business bulletproof. What I mean by making your business bulletproof, what better way of saying, we know what we're doing, rather than just, hey, you could go online to any of my social platforms. You could see we've been doing this for years, because posts, they don't lie. And also the timestamps on posts don't lie as well. And ultimately you could show the evolution of your businesses as well. Using my plumber example for one more time. Let's say you started 5 years ago and it was just you. It was you, and maybe you had an apprentice and you're just out there, you're working, you see your truck, that one truck that you have, you've been out there, you're servicing homes, you have those videos posted, you have your GoPro up, whatever you have up that's documenting and capturing the thing that you're doing inside your business on a day in and day out basis. Scroll on your timeline, you start seeing when you purchased another truck. So now you have a fleet of 2. So fast forward 5 years later, now you have a fleet of 10 trucks and you have, 10 different employees. You have people in the back end of the receiving department. You have your secretary, you have your accounts receivable. You have all these different things going on in your business. People can see that evolution, and they can also see that you're in business to do business, meaning that you're really focusing in, you're investing in your business. One other thing that I would definitely say is that it will document the fact that when you have a mentor or you have someone kind of move in to help you out with your business and you're now shouting out that mentor, the people want to buy in to people who are bought in to whatever it is that they do, because ultimately they don't want to really kind of like just invest in someone who may be a fly by night. How many times have you guys drove past one of those carnivals at the side of the road, knowing that these things going from place to place, even though you love the carnival, but you just know like these rides aren't the same that you may see at Disney or Six Flags. They're not just properly bolted into the ground. They're not dedicated to being in this one space. They may be here today, they're in Rhode Island tomorrow, who knows? But you want to invest in a person who is investing in themselves or investing in their business, that's taking the things that they are learning on a daily basis and getting better. So by the time they reach you, they're already in a position where they can help you much faster and more efficient. So this is kind of where it comes in, where you're just documenting your growth, and it's actually just solidifying that person who's on the fence of trying to see if you are the business that they actually need to get them from point A to point B, or to repair something, or to take them from this result to this result over here, because they could go back and they could just vet you. They literally vet you, rather than you having to, go back and prove your resume or showcase your resume or say, hey, they have you on the phone and now they're asking you all these questions. Well, have you ever worked on this and that? You can just refer them back to the video. Like, actually, I have. What I can do is send you a few links to, situations that were similar to yours that we're talking about right now. And that may be able to just help you in your decision to see if we're the right fit for you. That also gives you the bargaining chips as well to make sure that the client itself is the right fit for your business. This is a bonus to tip that I'm going to say here, and this is one thing I like to say as well. It's like, hey, I want you to fill out this to see if you're a right fit for us, because uneducated client at times could be a client that is, I want to say is a headache, especially in certain lines of business that you're in, because they're not going to research. They're going to ask a ton of questions. You may have to deal with that. But here's another thing about you making those videos of you inside your small business online, because you can then document that or showcase the way you handle clients who refuse to look at videos or refuse to do any type of research on you or the topic that they could potentially be, facing. And they, that potential person who sees that may say, hey, you know what, before I call, let me do a little bit more research on him or her or this business to try to figure out how they handle a situation that I'm currently experiencing. So that is another way to do it. I just touched on four things, and there are a ton more, but I just want to narrow it down to four things to make sure that you guys are fully aware of why it is so important for you to film yourself in your small business or film your small business, like inner workings of the small business, of the things that you're doing. Number one, again, just to recap, is it builds trust and credibility instantly. Number two, it becomes that content that markets you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Number three, it is going to educate and attract your ideal client. And number four, it's going to document your growth. It's going to show what you've been doing from when you started to where you're at right now. And the greatest thing about it, what I love, especially for my business, what I love is like, it shows you where you're at now, but it also shows that trajectory of where you're going, because where you're at right now is exactly where you're supposed to be right now. But if a client meets you right now, can you just imagine that? Like, let's say for instance, they meet you right now and they were able to go 6 months backwards to figure out where you were and where you're at now. Maybe where they're at right now and where you were at 6 months ago, you probably weren't ready for them, but they could see that journey. They could see that growth right now. They could see where you're at and they say, okay, right now we need him. And I could see that just based on the fact that I can go back and I could scroll and try to figure out all the things that he's been doing. And we know exactly what his company is doing. So hopefully this helps out. Hopefully this is something that you guys just needed to like kind of like kick it into high gear. Yes, you can actually just post all the final products or the final videos or the final result of the thing that you're doing, but just reconsider the fact that the thing that you're doing, the weeds, the boring things that you think are boring, there are like vital information for that client that's on the fence, or that client that just needs to make sure before I hit submit or before I hit purchase or before I hit approve, I just want to make sure this person is the right person without them having to call all the different reviews that you have out there. They can actually go back in your social and they can prove like they're making an informed decision because you gave them the power to make that informed decision. My name is Jay. I am a creative entrepreneur here in the Atlanta area and owner of J.August Media, where I always believe that if you're not posting your business, it is robbing you from showing people that you're in the business to do business. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this with somebody that is another small business owner that just needs this. They need it right now, because right now what they're doing is just not working. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.